Okay, so her truck hasn't been started for 9 months now, and I'm not sure it's going to start, but we'll give it a go.
Boom.
Kevin, what you doing? Kevin. You're going to need to edit bits of this anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
Si les gens ils parlent à côté des images, c'est un peu gênant.
Il faut que tu nous signales, Nicolas.
Ah, bah, un signal aussi.
Quoi?
Spotlight's on you, yes.
I mean, I'm terribly photogenic. Right.
So if you're an MOT inspector, you don't want to look at a dirty bin. Okay, that's got that cleaned up a little bit, and we'll let it dry off and go and have some lunch.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Why do you want to learn how to drive the camper?
Well, I think it will be a very good idea, so I can learn to drive it by myself and take it out. I haven't driven anything that big before, so it'll be an interesting experience. Learning to drive it at the moment, so I'm on the first stage of doing my theory tests.
Okay, right, so I've done the grease nipples all over the place, and we're just going to have a look at the brakes. So, this truck has got pure air brakes. There are lots of different systems, but this one has just got air, and the problem with air is when you compress it, you get water in the system. And some trucks have air dryers, but this doesn't. This one injects antifreeze into the cylinders. You've got the primary and the secondary cylinder here. And of course you get a certain amount of antifreeze that builds up in the things, so you do need to occasionally let it out. So there you go, you can see how the antifreeze builds up in the system. So it's when you haven't got enough pressure, the brakes, the service brakes, the parking brake are locked on. There's a really big spring in there. And so you can't go anywhere. That's why trucks get stuck sometimes.
And then after that, there will be a second test, which will be for the lorry plus trailer, which could eventually be useful as well. And but that's the second stage of doing a license. You do your first driving test, which is for 7.5 tons, and then the second test is 7.5 plus a trailer.
Otherwise, conventional foot brake, instead of putting hydraulic fluid down the lines, it puts air pressure down the lines, and that operates the brakes.
It should be very entertaining to try and drive that thing. All will come next. There you go.
Just checking, because it hasn't been on the road for ages. We're just going to go around and we're going to check all the nuts for soundless, just to see whether they sound the same. So that all looks pretty good to me. You know, when you're doing the walk around, you just want to see that there's nothing obviously awry, because obviously we're going to drive this to the MOT place, and we don't really want anything that is, you know, glaringly a problem. So fix it before we go.
Yes, is it? Yeah, all good. All good. Yes. Okay. Both working. It's working. Fine. Can we look at the front?
So I just checked the front. So we've got the basic walk around. We know that we've got lights, we know they've got brakes, we know they've got air pressure, and the brake system is purged. So we should go ahead and book an MOT, I suppose.
How long do you think it will be until you're able to drive?
I'm aiming for about 2 months, possibly 3. I think when you're filming you need to be a lot slower when your movements and smoother.
What are your thoughts on going to Portugal?
I'm really excited. I think that's going to be a fantastic adventure, and it will be just good to see new people, good to learn another language, and more trains. A new culture, lovely weather. I'm expecting, lots of expectation on that, and yeah, learning how to be there really. So ready for a new adventure, I said.